Hi there, and welcome to the first week of Design 320 and Design 330. This week, your lectures are almost identical, so I'm pairing them together. Let's see what we're going to go over. My name is Randy Schuster, and we're going to check out and see what is up for this week. So here we go. This is our 320 and 330 week one pre recorded lecture. And in part one, I'm going to explain to you the who, what, where, when, and why of this class. So let's take a look at the who. Um, I'll let you know about me. I'm your professor, Professor Randy Schuster. I'm a mechanical engineer. I got my degree in mechanical engineering, Bachelor's of Science degree from UC Davis in 1983. I had really wanted to be an aeronautical engineer, but in 1982, they laid off about 20,000 people from the industry in California. So I thought I had made a pretty poor choice and went back to school for an extra year to take one class to get a general degree. Um, I had been working for an engineer all through college, for an environmental engineer. So I've got a big background in sewage, and I didn't want to do that particularly. And so when I got out of college, I got picked up by a very cool company up in Rancho Cordova called Tri-Tool Inc. They made portable pipe cutting equipment, very high tech, very cool. And I stayed with them for 5 or 6 years. And then it got to be a little bit too long of a commute for me. So I got a little bit closer to my home, which is in Davis, and started working out of Sacramento, right off of I-5 in Richards in that North B and 7th area. A very cool company called Wemco Pumps. Turns out that I was actually hired to work on, I know that's off. I wish that would stop doing that. Um, and from Wemco Pumps, it was actually a big company, part of Baker Hughes Oil, and the pumps were a small part of it. They made mining equipment, all sorts of things like that. But it turned out that one of their primary things was sewage pumps. So I was right back into the sewage industry. And I worked there for a little while until the company, about again 6 or 7 years, and it was a phenomenally good company. It was so well run. That is where I really, really, really got my training on how to be a manager and how to be a really good engineer and designer. But that company got bought by a Scottish company and moved to Salt Lake City. And that was not my preference to move. So I was fortunate to get picked up by a company in Woodland called Ames Valves, who were also quickly bought by a company called Watts, but they left us working as uh, Ames, a division of Watts Water and Valves. And I got another 7 or 8 years of excellent, excellent work under some really good engineers and managers. Had some trials and tribulations at that place, and I'll be able to talk about these with you if you happen to come to the labs and want to chat about some of the experiences that relate to what I'm I'm working with. So that's me. I'm Professor Randy Schuster. I'm a mechanical engineer. Oh, and in between all that, after working for Ames Water and Valve, I started my own consulting business, uh, Quality Engineers Design (QED), and I did basic engineering designs again in the water field for a number of people, and eventually one of my former supervisors, Dave Sinclair, who was a professor here at ARC, recruited me to the faculty, and I'm very happy that I did. I love teaching here. Students, as you know, because you are really, really cool. They're really great, hardworking, doing everything that you can to get ahead with your education. And I truly appreciate the fact that I get to teach people who want to learn. So thank you all very much for being here. That's me. So that's the who. Now, what does this class cover? We really cover 3D modeling as it relates to design conceptualization. So we're at the very beginning of the design process where we're just trying to get the concept across. But even with that, we still need to make sure that we consider the form, the fit, and the function. Let me move it over here. Form, fit, function. And by form, we mean the size and the shape. Fit is the dimensional accuracy. So a rectangle can be kind of any size, even if you have the ratios correct of the sides. The dimensional accuracy is the fit. And for function, that is a huge part of design. You're designing to ensure that the function gets met. But what we're going to do is we're going to do the design conceptualization part of it where we're annotating. That means to write down the descriptions of the desired functions and point out the parts of the design that will fulfill those functions. And I'll give you a little demo of this in a few minutes. So we cover design conceptualization. There are some introductory design principles. Design is a huge field. So in an introductory class of one semester where we're also teaching you skills, it's hard to get all the principles in. We're going to talk about positive, negative space because there are two commands that we often use, which is press and pull, and those create positive or negative spaces in your base design. And there are some important design numbers. Now, there are tons of them, but we really like to work with pi because that's the ratio of the diameter of a circle to the circumference of the circle. And so it's a fixed number and it's really easy to work with and it's good to work with. And that says golden ratio. It's golden ratio. Golden ratio is about 1.6. You can find it any number of different ways, but one of the most interesting ones is dividing the following number from the previous number of the Fibonacci series. So I'll talk about that a little bit. You really just need to know that it's about 1.6. And when you design using that ratio, which I'll teach you about, your designs are pleasant to the eye. Okay. And then let me just show you, we've got a course map, and this is what it looks like. This is our course map for Design 320. For Design 330, I'll show you another course map, and I'll cut and paste that into this part of the video. But in Design 320, we're going to cover technical skills first for the first half of the class, about 8 weeks. And we're going to cover SketchUp, a little bit of form, a little bit of fit, and a little bit of function. And then we're going to repeat all that with different examples using AutoCAD for form, fit, and function. And then we're going to use Revit. This is an Autodesk product, AutoCAD. Revit is Autodesk. SketchUp is from Trimble. They all kind of work kind of the same until you get to Revit. And Revit combines form, fit, and function all in each command. It's called a constrained architectural design, and it's called BIM, Building Information Modeling. And when you use it, you're ensuring form, fit, and function because it's built in. So we'll give you a few weeks of each of those so that you can get a handle on it. And then we'll give you a chance to apply those technical skills. And here's where you'll get to use a software of your choice. And I don't even require that you use some of these. If you're in landscape, you can use Dynascape. If you're in interior design, you can use ArchiCAD or Chief Architect or something like that. I'll give you your choice of software. However, there will be things that you have to do. So you have to make sure that your software can do it. And we're going to do two designs. One is a light sconce, and we're going to do research and conceptualize the appropriate form and fit. And then we're going to do a design review for function. So that'll be for a light sconce. And you go, wow, that seems kind of easy. It's amazing how much goes into a light sconce. And then we're going to do a residential to commercial remodel project. And again, on all of these, you're going to get to kind of focus on your area of interest. If you're mechanical, you'll focus on the mechanical part. If you're electrical or mechatronics, you'll focus on that part. If you're interior design, you'll focus on that, and so on and so forth, landscape. And so that is our course map for Design 320. So now, where do we go? Once you've got, okay, that's cool. I like this class. I hope. If you have to take this class, I hope you like it. But I'm sorry if you don't. You have to take the class. It's my goal to make it something that you like. So where do you go to find important information? Well, that is on your Canvas page. And here I'm showing the Canvas page for Design 320, the Canvas site. Design 330 is very, very similar in that there's a welcome, there's a little bit of work, and then there's some quick jumps on your main page. One of the cool ones is this is the online access to our computers that have all the software loaded. So you can use this VMware HTML access. It works on Chromebook, it works on Windows, it works on a Mac. It does not work on a phone. It does not work on a tablet. You'll have to have one of those three items. Chromebook, Windows machine, Mac. Does not take a lot of power. It works in the browser. If you need help with access to technology that will run this, just please let me know. So that's really cool. And so then there's a little bit about me. That's important. You should know how to get a hold of me and what you might get a hold of me about and when I respond. And then very important is each week there is something to do, and it's always posted on this calendar. And so you can read the calendar off of here, or you can go to the public link, and here's where that public link is. Now, you'll only have one of these open at a time, either 320 or 330, but they're very much the same. You'll see that the top bar tells you what week it is and what we're covering. And if you click on it, it gives you your to-do list. So as an example, this week, watch the pre-recorded lecture, visit the Canvas module, read each page, do the and the topic videos. Okay, pre-recorded lectures and the topic videos. I'll show you where to get those. Visit the orientation. Looks like this. Here's all your orientation stuff to do. If I put it into student view, it'll look a little bit more like what you'll see. Okay, so there's your student view of that. Here's your associated Canvas instructions page for submitting your executive summary. Canvas submit, and there are no drawings or design files, so you get 10 free points. That's really cool. I'm starting off right, giving you free points. So that's kind of cool. I expect, and I'm not going to put this down every week, I expect that you'll take 4 to 6 hours to go through all of this stuff. So let's take a look. You should always, on Mondays, check out the topic videos. The pre-recorded lecture will go here, and the YouTube playlist will go here. This week, I've got quite a bit. There's probably about 20 to 30 minutes on here. But it's all it's good to ground yourself in all of this, so that you know what to expect and how to do it. You can just watch them at double speed. If you click on one of these,
Hello, and thank you for your.
you can go to double speed. And mostly we talk slow enough that you could watch it at double speed. Okay, so you'll do all that. And I'll give you more instructions on how to do that later. Okay, so there's important information. And then here's how to get to my YouTube channel if you want to see everything I've got. Here's my playlist. Here's another link to our computers. Here's the Tech Ed YouTube channel. There's a lot of good stuff in there.
Well,
Okay, there's playlists and videos. There's just all sorts of stuff. How to set up a direct deposit, model space, just how to fill out your I-9 form if you're an employee here. Discord, how to use that, how to encrypt files. There's just tons and tons of stuff in here. It's all based on Tech Ed, how to split your screen on a PC, how to get Autodesk, how to get it, how to draw lines, organizing your files, Google Drive, VMware. So there's a lot of interesting stuff on there if you'd like to see it. And then there's stuff that's not part of design tech that might help out your home base. Design tech is in manufacturing, construction, and transportation, but you might be in something else. There's a resource page for ARC students. You can get to the Tech Ed office here and Canvas help here. So that's where you go to get important information. Okay. Now, let's take a look and see what I'm supposed to cover next. When to do work and when to submit it. So let's take a look here. Okay. And it'll tell you what to do here. It says visit the Canvas module. Just clicked on my main thing. And my expectation is that you're going to go through, after you've looked at all that playlist, you're going to go through and read each one of these and follow the directions. And then there's a discussion to do where I just like you to introduce yourself. And then there's a tech preparation readiness. I'd like to know how technically prepared you are. Look, we all have a wide range of technical access around us. We have many students who have horrible internet or almost none. We have students that are working on a phone and we want to get them Chromebooks. We have students where this is the first time they've really ever been in Google Drive. So this is just to figure out, where you are. And there's a quick survey that you can take and you make a copy of it. See? Now to make this copy, you do have to have your Google apps open. If you have problems with this, just come to the lab, or go to the lab, go to the notes, and type in your question right there. Just type it in. You can put your name or not, as you wish. Okay, so and everything's due on Sunday. Sunday at midnight. Everything is always due Sunday at midnight. Now you will find that just because of the way I do things, I do allow late work. Okay, I do allow late work for each one. However, when you put it in there, I'm not going to grade it. You're going to get a 0 up above if it's late. Oops, here's the late work. Sorry. By the way, usually there's two things. Something called an executive summary and then your design files. I've got videos on all that so you can watch it. But late work is kind of interesting. At the end of finals modules, I'll select half of what you've turned in late, and I'll grade those and give them whatever they receive up to full credit. The rest will remain at 0. So if you've got just a couple out of 16 or 32 or something like that, it's not going to be a very big hit, even if you're only getting half the modules done. So if you're concerned about the amount of work that you've got and that maybe you've got some stuff late, please always contact me. Okay? We're very gracious on understanding people's situations. And so if I find that, okay, yeah, you've you're really under the gun. No wonder you can't get stuff in on time. We're always able to make an accommodation if I deem it's appropriate. Okay? So I have a very strict late policy. However, I understand it happens to everybody, and all you have to do is really contact me and let me know what's up, and we can make some accommodations. So the last part of this section of the pre-recorded lecture is about why this class is taught. So you saw what's taught, now why? Why is it being taught? So we know that design is a learned skill. Very few people are just natural and can just pop it right out, especially with all the technology now. So design is a learned skill, and this is the first part of that learned skill, is starting with the conceptualization. It's the more interesting part. If you just have to document what somebody else has already conceptualized, it's really cool and it's really interesting, but it's not as cool as creating the design concept yourself. So we want to learn how to do that, and we want to learn the skills that take art, cool pictures and images and thoughts and visualizations, and somehow make it real. We have to tell somebody how to build it. Unless it's so simple that they can just look at a sketch and build it. That doesn't happen very often. Okay? Now, we know everybody in design tech, all of us professors, have years of experience, and we totally understand the broad range of skills that even a simple design needs. So, as a valve designer, I would work with pump people, civil engineers, concrete engineers, steel engineers, interior designers. Obviously, we were the valve engineers. Just even on the most simple valve project, all of that would go into it. Then we would have to work with the spring people who made our springs and the seal people that made our seals for us. And we even had to work with the steel providers because sometimes we couldn't get exactly what we want. So there's a huge range of skills. We're going to let you touch many of them as we work, but enough so that you're really technically competent. And knowing that, we try to make this class support design technology, interior design, mechatronics, landscape design, engineering technology, and even more. We've had people from all over the campus. We even had the puppet people from the theater group come in and do some Design 320 with us. So our goal is to support you in your design program, and we teach it so that you can have grounded skills that you can show and demonstrate to future employers. So there we go. That's our course. Yeah, I know I'm talking without my mic. That is one of the problems with doing a recording and doing the Google Meet. So that's cool. That's the who, what, where, when, and why of Design 330 and Design 320. And I hope you enjoy the class. I will now go on to another short demo that will kind of describe for you and get you a good feel for form, fit, and function.